Hey everyone. So you've probably written a Dockerfile before, right? It's pretty easy to get one that works. But making it fast, small, and super secure, well, that's the difference between a hobby project and a professional application. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. Let's dive in.
So here's the game plan. We're going to start with the absolute basics. What's the deal with an image versus a container? Then we'll get our hands dirty and dissect a real Dockerfile line by line. After that, I'll show you some awesome tricks to make your builds way faster. Then we'll level up to building production-grade, secure images. And finally, we'll see how it all fits into the bigger picture, the whole CI/CD pipeline.
All right, first up, the core concept. Look, before we even think about writing code, we've got to get this one thing straight. It's all about the blueprint versus the actual building. This is it. This is the question that trips up everyone when they're starting out. Image, container, are they the same thing? Can you just use the words interchangeably? Well, not really. And getting this right is kind of the key to everything else. Okay, here's the easiest way to think about it. For real. Your Docker image? That's the blueprint. It's a static, read-only template. It's got all the instructions, your code, all the dependencies, everything. Then you have the Docker container. That's the actual building you construct from that blueprint. It's the live running thing. The cool part is, you can spin up tons of identical containers from just one image, just like a construction crew can build a whole neighborhood of houses from the same blueprint. Okay, so if the image is our blueprint, then where do we, write it? That's where the Dockerfile comes in. It's really just a simple text file with a list of step-by-step instructions for creating our image.
So let's look at a real-world example. This is a pretty standard Docker file for a Node.js app. You see these commands like from, work direct, copy, run. It might look a bit like gibberish at first, but trust me, each line is just one simple instruction in our blueprint. Let's go through them one by one so it all makes sense.
From is where it all begins. Every single Dockerfile has to start with this. It tells Docker what your foundation is, what you're building on top of. In this case, we're starting with an official Node.js image. Super convenient, right? It already has Node and NPM installed and ready to go. Work direct is kind of like typing CD in your terminal. It just sets the working directory inside the image for all the commands that come after it. It just keeps things tidy and means we don't have to type out long, messy file paths over and over again.
The copy command is exactly what it sounds like. It takes files from your computer, like your source code, and just copies them into the image, right into that working directory we just set.
Now, run is a big one. This is for any command you need to execute while you're building the image. The classic example, and what you see here, is installing dependencies with npm install. This command runs once during the build, and then the result gets baked right into the image as a new layer. And that brings us to CMD. Now, this is where people get confused. CMD is totally different from run. CMD is the command that runs when you actually start a container from the image. It doesn't happen during the build. It happens when you type docker run. So let's say it one more time because it's super important. Run is for build time, CMD is for runtime.
Okay, so now we know the basic commands. We can build an image that works. But we're here to go from hobbyists to pro, right? So let's talk about how to write a Dockerfile that's not just functional, but smart, fast, and efficient.
The secret sauce to lightning-fast Docker builds is all about understanding layers. See, every single instruction in your Dockerfile, it creates a new layer in the image. Think of it like a stack of pancakes. Now, when you rebuild, Docker is smart. It looks at each instruction, and if nothing has changed, it just reuses the layer from its cache instead of running the command all over again. This is an absolute game changer for your build speeds.
So how do we actually use this caching magic? It's all about the order of your commands. Take a look at these two examples. On the left, we copy all our code first, and then we run npm install. On the right, we do something different. We copy just the package JSON, run npm install, and then copy the rest of our code. Seems like a tiny change, right? But the difference in performance is massive. So why is that second order so much better? Well, think about it. How often do you change your package.json file? Not that often, right? But you change your source code all the time. So by copying package.json and running npm install first, Docker creates a layer for all your dependencies and then caches it. Now, when you change a single line of your own code, the build just skips that whole heavy npm install step. It only has to update the very last layer with your new code. This can literally take a build that takes minutes and shrink it down to just a few seconds.
All right, another huge pro tip for efficiency: start small.
I see this all the time. People using a massive base image like the full Ubuntu operating system. It's a classic rookie mistake. What you really want to do is go for a minimal, specialized image like an Alpine version.
And why does that matter so much? Well, you get 3 massive wins. First, your builds and pulls are way faster. Second, they're cheaper to store in your container registry. And third, and this is a big one, they are way more secure. A smaller image literally means a smaller attack surface for bad actors. It's a win, win, win.
Okay, our builds are fast. Now let's make them truly production ready. These next couple of techniques are what really separate a simple development image from a hardened, secure, and lean image that you can confidently deploy.
This next one is one of my favorite features in Docker, the multi-stage build. The concept is actually pretty simple. You just use 2 from instructions in the same Docker file. The first from creates a build stage. This is where you use a bigger image that has all your heavy tools, compilers, build scripts, you name it. Then, the second from starts your final, super lightweight stage. And here's the magic. You use a special copy-from command to pluck just the finished, compiled app right out of that first stage and drop it into the final image.
And the result? It's incredible. Your final production image is unbelievably small and lean because it only contains your application and its runtime dependencies. All those heavy build tools and dev dependencies, they get left behind and completely discarded. This is a massive boost for both security and your image size.
Okay, this one is non-negotiable. This is a critical security rule. Never ever run your container as the root user in production. By default, that's what Docker does, and it's a huge security hole. If an attacker finds a vulnerability in your app, they have root access to the whole container. That's bad. But by adding one simple line, the user instruction, you switch to a non-privileged user, and you dramatically limit the damage an attacker can do.
So, we've done it. We've built this lean, mean, secure, and efficient image. But what now? Where does it go? Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture to see how our Docker image becomes the star of the show in the entire software delivery pipeline.
This is the whole journey, from code to cloud. It all starts when a developer commits their code. A CI/CD system, think Jenkins or GitHub Actions, sees that change. It automatically grabs the code, builds a new Docker image using our awesome Dockerfile, and slaps a version tag on it. Then, it actually spins up a container from that new image to run all the tests. If everything passes, that image gets pushed to a central registry, and from there, it's ready to be deployed to production. See? That image we built becomes the single source of truth that moves through the entire process.
So, to wrap things up, let's do a quick review of the common mistakes to avoid. We talked about not using huge base images, right? And don't forget your Docker ignore file to keep things clean. Definitely don't hardcode any secrets in there. And the 2 big ones we just covered. Make sure you're structuring your Docker file to use the build cache, and for the love of all that is good, do not run your containers as the root user. If you can avoid these common pitfalls, you are seriously way ahead of the game.
And that really brings us to the final question, the one for you to think about. Go take a look at your own projects, right now. After everything we've talked about today, from layer caching and multi-stage builds, all the way to security best practices, can you honestly say your Docker images are built for production?